system that delivers you when you're a baby.
Yeah.
And takes care of you just before your last breath.
Yeah. So there are pregnant women out there that haven't been given a lot of advice, not really sure what's kind of going on with them and what their experience will be when they actually go into labour and have their child. And I'm just wondering, like, if you, obviously, when you go back to work, if you've kind of been given the kind of criteria on what is going to be happening with, you know, what precautions you're going to be taking with women that are pregnant.
So we are, so we have the Royal College of Obstetrics and Gynaecology, and I think we're probably on version 7 now. So there are guidelines out there of how the obstetricians will need to take care of pregnant women. And on their website, the Royal College of Obstetrician Gynaecology, they've also produced a patient leaflet, which they update regularly as well.
Okay.
You're on Instagram, I'm on Instagram, and I'm sure on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook, but there's a wealth of information out there. I've been trained by the Better Birth organization, and they deal with, you know, mental health in pregnant women and postnatal women, and that's an Instagram account that I would recommend, because there's a lot of information about pregnant women and their mental health at this time. So there is a wealth of information out there, but the one piece of advice I would give to pregnant women is, if there's anything, you know, in regards to your baby, i.e. movements, if you have signs, for example, what we say is bleeding, waters leaking, you know, severe pain, or you're feeling unwell with this obviously COVID-19 situation, please do not be scared to come to hospital. You have to come in.
Because obviously people will be scared because there's people at hospital that do have the virus.
Yeah.
So I think there's a real anxiousness.
There will be anxiety, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of the NHS trusts are allowing their partners to come in as well, because I think there's an anxiety about that out there, that, you know, partners or their birth partner can't come in with them, you know, if they're labouring, that is. But a lot of trusts are being very good and very kind, and say, no, your birth partners can come in. So I can reassure women about that, but speak to your you know, your hospital trust, and they can advise you further on that. But all I can say is don't be scared. If you need the medical help, or you are going into labour, you must come in. Despite this COVID-19 situation, babies are still going to be delivered, and need to be delivered. And mummies still need to be taken care of. And I just don't think I could bear it if I knew there was a mummy sitting at home really unwell, just worried about COVID-19. Please don't be scared. You know, we've got you know, our protocols in place, etc. If you need to come in, you have to come in. It's really important. All pregnant mummies know this, and we will be happy that you'll come in, and then we can help you, because you and your baby come first. COVID-19 is the secondary thing. Don't let it overtake your judgment.
That's really nice.
What I can say to them.
No, that's actually really beautiful. When I was younger, growing up, I couldn't think of anything worse than being a doctor. You know, I was very much, you know, and it's true. You know, everyone, you know, every Asian person around me was going to be a doctor, and I didn't. I wanted to be in the arts, and I was really into drama and dancing, and I couldn't think of and I couldn't think of anything worse, and I didn't want to be that kind of. I didn't want to be in a pot box. Well, I'm Asian. I want to be a doctor or a solicitor, and the kind of jobs that we judge.
The stereotypical.
You know. And now we are in COVID-19. I could not be more prouder of, like, just everyone, like, kind of like, you know, our workforce out there of Asian people in being doctors, consultants, and police, and all that. And for a moment, I would actually love to be a doctor, and I'm just very in awe of you as well. Going back to work, putting people first. It was the first time I thought I'd actually really love to be a doctor at the moment. I think people, not just me, I think the people out there, you know, there's so much on how proud we are of our NHS and the fact that we do have an NHS.
We are so lucky. We are so lucky.
And we have people
The
like you.
NHS is a beautiful establishment. It is a beautiful system that we have. I mean, I'm sure we've been to different parts of the world. There's nothing like it anywhere else in the world. You know, I've been to America and I've heard the horror stories they have, and even know what's going on now. But, you know, it's a system that delivers you when you're a baby and takes care of you just before your last breath. Like,
that's
where
amazing.
else do you get a system like that? And it's all free at the point of access. You know, you don't have to worry about your bank balance running low because you're paying for treatments. And we get the most technologically advanced treatments in our, you know, I mean, it's not great. We don't get everything. We're not advanced as many countries. But overall, if you speak to any lay person, they would say they're proud of the NHS. And it's just, you have your complaints and things, and that's just normal life. But overall, it's a beautiful thing, the NHS. And I'm actually really proud to work for the NHS. I can say that, like, you know, genuinely, authentically, I am. You know, and do medicine or becoming a nurse or, you know, a HCA, they do amazing things. You know, the teamwork. When I stand back where there's an emergency, and when you reflect on it, I think like just amazing what we can do as a group of human beings to just focus on this one person and making sure they're safe and alive and well. And it's a beautiful feeling. No, I'm even getting emotional now, but
I am. I'm getting very emotional because
even every time, like, I deliver a baby, it just sets me off. And to this day, I can tell you, it is a magical feeling when you deliver. Especially, I'm talking from my speciality point of view, you know, in obstetrics and gynae, but delivering a baby. One of the reasons I went into it is the room becomes magical. You know, when you have those nice, beautiful births. And the best bit is seeing daddies cry. I've never seen so many men cry in my life. But this is why, you know, you go into a career because you want to take that passion, you want to take that energy with you, and create those magical moments for people in their lives. And that's what the NHS does. It creates those moments for everyone in this country.
It's the same with me as well. Like when I had my daughter, you know, I was in labour for 4 days. Although I was in such agony, like there's just the psychological,
I know what you're talking about.
just the psychological part of it all. I was in hospital for a week, and I would say at least 20 to 50 people helped me. Because they had different shifts, they had different support midwives, the actual midwives, the nurses, the woman that had to be cleaned, you know, the consultant, the midwives, like I dozens and dozens of people, all through the NHS. I didn't have to pay, and it was a service that is given to women that in this country, and we are so lucky. We are so lucky.
We are lucky.
You know,
I mean, especially what's going on with the ITUs at the moment. You know, there's a whole army of. I mean, I'm in awe of them at the moment. I know you say for but you know what they're the respiratory wards and the ITU wards and what they're doing right now. You know, I should be grateful for the work I do because what they're facing is beyond belief. I don't know what they must be going through.
Beyond comprehension, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, we're there. I mean, all the hospitals are getting together. It's amazing. Like, I'm hearing from different hospitals where my colleagues or friends are, and people are getting together, the healthcare workers, and, you know, they're saying, we don't care, tell us what to do, and we'll do it. You know, amazing. That's the way it is. And we're just getting on with it. And that's, you know, like I said, you're not going to get anything like this anywhere else in the world.
No, definitely not. And how would you feel if your children wanted to be doctors?
I think my eldest, who's 11, obviously understands a lot. She actually wants to be a scientist, but I don't know what it'll be tomorrow. Wow. But I mean, that's something consistent. And you know, it's actually a good time for her to realise and reflect on that, because she's saying, you know, with this virus, you need scientists. And it's like, you know, her name's Iman. It's like, look, this is a time scientists are even important, not just the healthcare workers, because we need to find, you know, a vaccination or a cure, whatever it is we need. You know, it's scientists doing that. So for children to you can turn this into a positive.
Yeah.
You know, instead of being morbid, you know, that's another good tip. You know, instead of, you know, focusing on the doom and gloom and the numbers of deaths, etc., you know, talk to your children, say at this time, you know, these people, you know, you want to be scientists, this is what they do. You know, it's a good time to talk to them about things like this as well. And I've had that conversation. But I think it's hard. It is hard. Trying to, what is essentially, you think it's a negative situation.
Yes, exactly. We need to.
Yeah, but to tell people to turn it into positive, you know, they'll be shocked. But you have to, because as the government and everyone's saying, this isn't a sprint, this is a marathon.
Yeah,
you don't know
absolutely.
how long to go on for.
And also take this time to reflect as well, like, you know, and actually, as you say, the whole breathing techniques and everything like that, but reflect on, you know, what we are having very positive. You know, we are spending time with our family, and we are, and you know, things like whatever works for you. Do a side hobby, you know, start writing, do a diary, like whatever you can. Just
things you never were able to do, just get on with it. Do it now. You have the time. You've got the time now, and there's no deadlines. There's no, you know, because as doctors you have exams and you have some course to do or something else to do. There's just none of that. I'm just going to go to work. So when I come home, I won't have those other things to focus on anymore.
Yeah.
It's just being at home. It was like when I was in the garden and I was just lying there, with my, you know, like I said, watching the children and, you know, sunbathing with the children, the beautiful weather we're having in our garden. It's like, this is so nice. I'm just lying here with no plan in my head of what needs to happen next, apart from making the dinner, obviously.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Oh, yeah. Boring.
Yeah.
Well, can I?
But that's nice.
Yeah.
Be bored. I think you should be bored.
I want to ask you as well. I would like to do another interview with you when you are back at work, and and you know, come back on the show and really kind of speak out on like what you're seeing, some frontline kind of stories of like, you know, of real compassion and real empathy and, you know, real kindness and strength of the workforce and the patients and everything. That would be really wonderful, and I think people would be and I think people would love to hear from an actual doctor on the front line there what's going on.
I'd love to do that. There's one thing I'm actually doing. If you let me mention it. A group of girls have organised the NHS wellness boxes. So as part of my kindness thing, I've volunteered to deliver. So these like girls are just amazing. They've NHS wellness boxes on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
And they've got people to donate things like toothbrushes, little like tea, sweets, little boxes they've made.
Amazing. I didn't know about that.
To all frontline workers in the London hospitals, because they're based in London. But it's an idea the whole country could do for their frontline workers. So I'm actually volunteering to take, I think the lady that's making the boxes, about 50, 60 boxes, and I'm going to make the first delivery to A&E. And that's my kind of, you know, I want to do that as a thank you to them.
That's amazing.
So, you know,
considering you're a doctor in the NHS, that's
yeah, but you know, I went to the A&E there, and you know, I was treated, you know, quickly, seen quickly. I was so grateful. So I dedicated these the boxes to them. So it's a thing, you know, when you finish a night shift and you get this beautiful little box of like goodies, nice. You can, like, put a smile on all the nurses and doctors and HCA and porters' faces. It'd be lovely. So yeah, there's things like this going on, which is amazing.
Well, definitely. I think everyone could be doing that. Yeah, absolutely. And I will.
NHS wellness boxes, please spread the word.
I will. Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate your time. And thank you for the amazing job that you're doing. And please pass it on to all the other workers that, you know, and the team effort that they do and what they're doing for this country is amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.